You know, AI is changing the whole landscape of business so fast that some people are actually afraid to move. It's sort of like if a hurricane comes through your town and you just kind of hunker down and wait for it to get over with. Well, that's what a lot of people are doing. I'm going to show you why it's not what you need to do, it's not what you should do. And I'm going to show you how to actually take advantage of this movement with AI for your business and without getting caught up and doing all the work. Because it's sort of like you might know that I used to own a racing company, but I actually can't drive a stick. So I actually didn't do the driving, right? I wore every hat but the helmet. And so I wasn't doing like all the hard labor of it. Right? I was orchestrating everything around the race in order to make sure the team would win all the time. And this is how I want you to think about AI right now. I don't think the smart move as a business owner is to go in and do all the tinkering and learn all the different platforms and see what's new every third day and try to add it, try to build in your own governance, your own safeguards and, your legal compliance and at the same time run a company. Guess what? It's not going to work. So there's a way that you want to look at this that's very intelligent and that it's a way to architect your business so that you can grow it and scale it without getting in the trap that everybody else seems to fall in right now. And we're going to show you exactly how to do it. So today is all about the part 3 of our series about designing and deploying your AI team. And of course, we've been through a couple episodes already, so you can click up there somewhere or down here and subscribe, and then you will get all of them sent to you. And remember, we come here every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Pacific time, so you can watch live, ask questions, and get your information answered. And every time we're here, we're always going to give you a gift. So if you respond when we're live, we'll make sure to get that to you. So I do have a gift for you today. So if you're wondering, what's the how? Okay, it sounds interesting, but actually how, what's it step by step? I've got a really great case study that you can get, and it's 100% free. And then you can see exactly how to follow what's been done so you can actually make this work for you. So let's dive into the topic. I love this part. Why? Because what we're architecting is kind of a future business, right? And you want to think of it like being a designer, and you're just kind of painting it and putting it together. And it's, an act of being really creative. And so imagine if you could design in your mind the ideal workforce, a labor force, people that are around you that are loyal and committed and actually get work done. That's what we're going to do today. So as we look at this, I don't want you to think about AI as a tool. I want you to think of it as truly a labor workforce. And it's this pairing, right? It's a pairing of the human on one side and the architecture of the agents on the other side. And when I say agents, what I'm talking about is there's a difference between just saying, oh, we're using ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini or whatever. We're talking about a whole workforce, and everything is put together in a very intentional way. Okay, so there's no guessing. See, the problem with most businesses right now is they're so fragmented. They're just little parts, and it's so complex. And then you're trying to scale that. You're trying to call that growth because you've just added more and more pieces. That's not growth. That's complexity. And look around. Look around at other businesses. They might be faking it till they make it, but they're struggling. We talk to them all the time in our workshops when people call in to have an assessment or have their business designed. They're struggling. Most businesses are struggling right now. And if you're feeling that, you're not alone, all right? And feel free to reach out to us. We can hop on a quick 10-minute call, figure out what is the gap, what's the leak, where's the broken pipe in your business or the disconnected wires that it's like nothing is gelling. Things aren't talking to each other. The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. And if that's happening, you can just go to callconnie.com, leave a message, click anywhere where you're watching this, and of course, subscribe, and then we can reach out to you that way as well. So maybe that's where you're stuck, is the complexity of it all. And a lot of people are saying, oh, just go do it yourself and build it. You can't keep up as a single person who's trying to run a business at the same time, right? Even if you have a whole team of people, why would you be doing it? And this is what we talked about last week, is most CEOs are actually doing all the work. Everyone else is just kind of hunkering down, waiting for the storm to clear, and then like, okay, pick up the scraps. You have to actually take a leadership role in this if you want your company to survive and thrive as we're going forward. And so, here's how you want to distinguish. Are you using another tool that you're adding to a collection? Or are you doing what we're talking about, is building an intelligent architecture in this AI age? So, legacy businesses where they're just trying to add things on and, patch things here. They're trying to be a little lazy and not really look at the system, but just like think, oh, I need that. It's kind of like shopping without a list. And what happens is then all you have is these big stacks of software that do nothing. And there's too many automation gimmicks, human as middleware. That's a big problem, right? And what happens is then you're stuck in the middle. There's so much chaos around all these parts and systems that you've built, and you don't even know what's going on. And your bill for all of this goes higher and higher and higher. This is the secret that people aren't talking about. They're like, oh yeah, I'm building this, and I added on all these systems and computers, and now I'm working 24/7 to try and figure out how to automate myself. It's not the smart way. There's a really intelligent way to do this that doesn't take your time, but what it does is it frees your time. And I think that's what most people want, is to figure out, how do I get in the other side of things, right? How do I actually figure out a simpler way to do this and to really have a workforce architecture, right? To have like systems orchestrated in a really smooth way and actually have the human on the loop, not in the loop, right? So when you're in it, everything has to come through you for approval. Anyone feel like the bottleneck in their business? That's the wrong way to build. And of course, you want strategic order, right? You want to know everything is happening in the right way. And a lot of people don't even know how to do that, because when you're trying to figure out, how do I build an AI-powered business? People are just diving in, right? And then you realize, oh my God, I'm going to go from the high dive. And you realize, oh dear, it's only 2 feet deep. You're going to get hurt. And you have to watch out for that, because you didn't do something that we call as data sanitization. You got to clear the deck, right? And you have to make sure everything is working. A lot of people are just trying to keep putting things on, take the old stuff and the new stuff. And, quite frankly, that doesn't really work. When you do that, it's a little bit like we talked about last week, like you're, walking with, on one side, you've got a gorilla, your old Neanderthal brain, and then on the other side, you've got all the new architecture. Well, that's not how it's supposed to work, right? You are supposed to have a really well orchestrated system. That's what we're going to show you today. So if you get this, if you realize, yeah, that's what I need, go ahead and subscribe, because we've got one more series of this coming up. And I want to make sure that you're able to get all of the parts and the pieces when we go through this, so that you're not missing anything, because there's 4 different stages that you go through as you're trying to build out your agentic business. All right. Not tools, not toys, and not tactics. We're talking transformational businesses with a real clear strategic plan. And it's really the only way to do it. So let's go ahead and think about this, is because it's really not about the software. And people think it is, or the new vibe coding, or the new this, or whatever the new lingo is. It's not about that. It's about programmable labor. And this is the new direction. We are at the forefront of AR workforce design and the leaders in certifying people for this. So if you're trying to figure out, how do I know it's being done right, come check with us. We can look at your systems, or you can see our systems and make sure that you're getting in early and you're doing it right. And what you're looking for really is this aspect of, how do I get both of it, right? How do I combine the two and have the blocks of the human and the AI? We call this silicon and carbon, and they work together, not separately. There's a link in between, and this is what you are trying to build. It is a very sophisticated architecture, and when you understand how that works, then you can scale it, right? And so we can help you build your own AI workforce. If you want to do it on your own, if you want us to do it with you, if you want us to do it for you, anything is a possibility, right? So you can go to our website, iconicbusinessadvisors.com, and book a call with us, or you can go directly to our platform, Morgentic, and you can see that. And then I said I'd give you something for free. So I want you to get this book here. And this is Mastering the Agentic Action Gap, because this is the problem that you're seeing with big enterprise companies all the way down to the mom and pop, is all these plans are going in, but no action, no results, no productivity is coming out. There's a reason for that. When you understand how simple it is to solve, then you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I would have known this a long time ago. So get this book. It will help you. It's a free download. You can see the steps, the case studies, and exactly what you need to do, where you need to go, completely free, and you can access it instantly. So I think that'll really help you, because what we're talking about is the truth of what's going on, right? And there's this word called the isoplastic. If you've been watching us for a while, if you're a subscriber, you might have heard us talking about this. Our whole business is built around this philosophy. And isoplastic means one who has the ability to unite disparate parts into one unified whole. And we always talk in terms of the cube, right? So this is like a lot of cubes put together, right? All these disparate cubes, all these disparate parts, and then you unite it together. And so it becomes from this to this, right? So you have one unified whole, balanced any way you look at it, perfectly transparent, the glass box, right? Most businesses with AI are talking about a black box. They cannot see what's being built, what other people are building for them, and what's behind the scenes. It's very dangerous. And so this is what we're talking about, building this ability to truly scale. And you have to have structure, okay? First, the clarity, so you can see what it is. Then you can scale it, and you build out the entire structure. That's the whole part of the system that most people are missing. And so what you need to do is figure out the different layers that you have to do. And first, about the vision, right? You can't go start on a project without sitting down first and mapping it out, finding the gaps, the holes, etc. We do that with a process called TIPS. And that's a deep analysis of your business to figure out where are the gaps, where are the leaks, Where is profit disappearing? Where is productivity non-existent? Where do you not even have a system or a person or even an agentic process or a specialist to handle anything? What's the map look like, right? You have to know how the whole terrain looks, okay? And so this is part of AI Workforce Designers, what we come in and do for you. Not just add on parts and pieces because we sell it, right? But we're talking ground up development, right? Starting with a clean canvas and building from there. And so then you're looking at the next layer. Once you can see the vision of what's going on, then you look at the orchestration. And this is where Kira comes in. And that's the specialist who will look at and manage all of the agents that are working in your system, their individual roles. You don't have to do it. The problem with most systems, right? You have to do it all. So we take that element out so you're free to actually be the leader and the visionary. And then we build in this layer of orchestration that's all perfectly together. And then we create the execution. Right? And how long does it take? Is it overnight? No. If someone says, oh, we can pop that in. Great. Yeah, duct tape doesn't hold on forever. This is a really true system. This is going back to this structure and this solidity and really deep rigor in your business that we're talking about. So that's the execution layer. So you need all three, okay? So think about what you're building. Think about what you have. Where is the gap? Where is the lack for you? Do you not know how to actually lay it out? Maybe that's all you need. Just someone to say, hey, give me a 30,000 foot view, print it out for me, show me what I have, show me what I need, and I will put it together. Or you might say, okay, do all that, but can you kind of have somebody run it for me? I'm doing something else over here. Okay. And maybe you're like, can you do all three parts of it? Right? Can you map it out for us? Can you set up the orchestration of how it's going to work? And then can you manage that and get all the execution, get everything running? So basically hitting the start button. So the question for you is, where do you want to be? What level are you at in your business? And then how can we help you? Because the future firm really operates with this like equilibrium, right? So working with the human and the specialist, the AI specialist. And so what we've done is built the whole platform for everything to work together so that it's like an infinity loop. It's not going to keep breaking down in between. Every week you can check the news and you'll see a story of somebody who erased an entire database. We talked about that last week and had kind of some fun with it. Go back and check the last episode. But it's really this hybrid equilibrium, right? And not only do you need the system and the labor force, but you also need to know how to manage it, implement it. And so that's where we come in as designers and consultants in that space. So the execution architecture, right, with the hybrid workforce, that's really what's happening. And so you get a little bit of both, right? And then the intelligence transformation begins with absolute visibility. You have to be able to see everything. You have to be able to see all the different layers of what's going on so that you know this is actually going to have a really good structure that you can depend on. It's something that you can actually walk away from and feel total confidence that it's going to work, right? So the question is, think about your business right now. We're working with a couple business owners this week, and do you know what? They can't walk away from their business. Okay. One is in the home services space, and emergencies pop up all the time. He's like, I got to do that. I got to do that. I got to do that. And so what we're doing is looking at how do we stop that? How do we prevent these emergencies from taking you away from your business? Another one is in the healthcare space. Again, they can't walk away. It's like, they're like, oh yeah, we had to work on Saturday and Sunday. Well, is that really how you want to build your business? You might say, well, I've got people to do that. Is that really what they're for? So chances are, unless you've had an assessment like an x-ray of your business and to look inside, you don't know what you don't have. And so that's why we want to encourage you to really look a lot closer at the whole process. Okay, so if we were like to roll out everything that we do, how do you want to do this in your business? Okay, and so you're going to start on the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to actually figure out the discovery, like what's missing, what's there, map everything out. Okay, then you want to diagnose it. Okay, now that we see everything mapped out, I see there's a hole here, the bridge is missing here, this road is not paved. And then step 3 is then the design, right? The whole architecture of that. How does it go together? How do the pieces work? How do you then deploy it? So you might have all these pieces, but as soon as you hit the on button, does everything collapse, or does it go great for 3 minutes and then it falls apart like a conveyor belt and that gets stuck and everything goes everywhere? Or it might reel off the tracks. And then optimize. This is where you're going to duplicate the process so it happens over and over and over again without your constant attention. And this is the architectural progression that you're going to look for. This is how we design the right way for building in a progressive labor force with AI specialists. And the question is, which specialists do you need? Well, we can help you figure that out. And there's a 4-step process to that. And once you go through that process, we call it you've been cubed. Okay. So that's how you know, oh, my whole organization has been cubed. It's structurally balanced, it's scalable, it's intellectually aligned, and it's operationally resilient. It's going to be able to weather all of the different changes in business. That's how you know you have the right thing going in your business. So is this you? Have you been cubed? Do you want to get cubed? Come reach out to us if you want to get cubed, of course. It's actually so easy to have a company run this way. It's, isn't it kind of mind-blowing? Like, you wonder, a couple of years ago, how did we even do this? Think back to the days of being imprisoned, like in a pandemic. Wow, if we would have had all of this, but we have it right now. And if you're waiting for it to get easier, that time is already here. And if you don't jump on board, you're going to miss the train. And we see companies that do this all the time. So some of the best, most iconic companies really are all about going forward fast, but don't go forward fast unless you have a clear plan, structure, your data's been sanitized, you're building ground up, and you're not Frankensteining your business. You're dealing with a certified professional who knows exactly what they're doing. They're not a little hobbyist working in their underwear and trying to sell you AI toys and tools. There's all kinds of dangers out there. All right. So, there's a structure that you can look at. This is what we would love to do. You might not want to work with us, but let us at least show you the design that you need and how you can take a legacy business and turn it into an iconic future firm using AI the right way so you don't have to redo it over and over and over. All right. So that's the question for you. Are you ready for the intelligence age? If you are, you can apply for a strategic assessment, have a walkthrough. We will give you a full-blown example of what your business will look like and get you set up, let you try it out and see, oh, this is what it is. And then you can decide, yeah, I think I'm ready for that. I think I want to move forward in business. Or you might say, yeah, this is great, but I don't need a designer. I might want to do it myself. Okay. Wherever you are, you just want to start moving forward because you're going to be going down this tunnel and you want to make sure you're doing it the right way with the right company, with the right person. As you can see, there's so many parts and pieces that you need to understand. We're certified in this. There are some people that can help you too. But why not give us a call, right? We would love to work with you. We'd love to help you out. And of course, if you are excited, we have another final part of the series on AI workforce design and building an AI-powered company. It is coming Tuesday at 2 p.m. Tuesday at 2 p.m. Next week is part 4. We're putting it all together, and I'm going to show you some really cool demos of behind the scenes. It's like walking into your computer. It's going to be great. So enough theory. Next week, it's action. Okay, so make sure you click, ask for the replays, ask for the freebies that we have given you, and then go ahead and book a call. We don't bite at all. So we would love to have you work with us, ask some questions, and of course, we will see you next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Have a great week and be